welcome to Yo-Yo Talk. This is episode 95, and we are live tonight. We've got kind of exciting stuff going on. I'm going to be talking about the National Yo-Yo Hall of Fame. We've got our new inductees. This is for the class of 2025. So I'll be announcing our 3 inductees tonight, and we'll get that to a little bit later on in the show. I am going to show you first all the different nominations we have. It was a great field of nominees this year, but it was a little bit trying. I literally finished editing the last of the inductee videos just about 7 minutes ago or something. So I was a little bit stressed here. But we did get it done, so I will be showing you an individual video for each of the 3 inductees here in a minute. I was going to let folks have a chance to sign in and all that. I'm just so you know that we do a little inductee ceremony at Nationals, which will be held in Las Vegas this year. So that's where it was last year. It was a lot of fun, and I'm sure it'll be fun again this year. So I'm looking forward to that. Last year, we did not have any nominees that were alive, but this year, I can say we actually have some that are living human beings. So that'll be nice to be able to do presentations if they're able to show up. Now, at the end of the show tonight, we will, of course, have our little trivia contest, and I've got some good trivia questions for you. Who we got? Do we have anybody signed in yet? What's that? Our CEO's on board here. Canada Jack. Hello, Canada Jack. Good to see you here. So if you are signed in, please go into the chat. Let us know you're here so we can recognize some of you that are watching. And please feel free to make comments too. And if you have questions, we love to answer questions as well. I have been working very diligently on my book on collecting yo-yo patches and string packs. We're almost to the final editing. We're pretty much done putting things into the book now. So my goal is to have it out by June and hopefully available for the 10 people in the entire world that are waiting with bated breath for it to come out. By June, by the National Yo-Yo Championship. So we'll see. So anyway, I want to talk a little bit about the National Yo-Yo Hall of Fame. We go through a selection process where we have nominations, and that anybody can nominate anybody. And generally, most people nominate very qualified people for that honor. And then if we have a ton of nominees, then it'll go through a culling process. We didn't really have to do that this year because we only had 10 in each category, so that's how many we have for finalists anyway. We do have an at-large category, which is basically anybody that's living or recently living. And then we have a category which are our golden age players. And those are people that were involved in the sport or hobby prior to 1965, which is, considered the golden age of yo-yos. So I'm going to go on and run this video of who our nominees were, total nominees were, and then we'll let you know here in a bit after that who the actual inductees are for 2025. So let's roll that video. Rei Iwakura, 7-time world champion. 6 of those world championships were in Offstring play, and yo-yo historian. Paul Boothie, team high performance member, top player in the 1980s and 90s. Jerry Vidine, post-World War II Duncan demonstrator, toured in both U.S. and Europe. Hank Freeman, 3-time world champ in the 3A division. Brandon Vu, #1 in social media followers with over 1 million YouTube subscribers. Gustavo Velez, Russell yo-yo demonstrator from the 70s through the 90s, toured in 53 different countries. Golden Age players, Dick Moffitt, promotion manager and demonstrator for both Cheerio out of Canada and Russell Yo-Yos. Tom Parks, Duncan yo-yo demonstrator from age 14, best known for Duncan's VHS video, How to Be an Expert with Tom Parks. Nemo Concepcion, one of the original 1930s demonstrators, best known for the documentary from the 70s, Yo-Yo Man. Jerry Vidine again, which we've mentioned in both categories. Tommy Reyes, original 1930s Duncan yo-yo demonstrator, later Royal, and later owner of the Eagle Yo-Yo Company. All right, there are our nominees. Those were all the people that were nominated, and they were all our finalists this year as well. Want to welcome, I see Val Oliver has just signed in, a member of the National Yo-Yo Hall of Fame, only one of 3 females in the National Yo-Yo Hall of Fame. So welcome, Val. I saw several other people sign in there. Zachary Henson, who else was there? John Maishral, Tim Simcoe, was he signed in? All right, so it sounds like we're going to have a good trivia contest because we got a lot of really knowledgeable people signing in tonight. So I'm not going to delay things. I'm going to jump right into the inductees for 2025. We, of course, this is 2026, but we do this for 2025, the year before. This first person spending his entire life in the world of yo-yos. He's been nominated for as long as I've been the director of the Hall of Fame. Every year he's been close to getting in. This is our Golden Age nominee. This one is unfortunately posthumous in the award. Hopefully his son will be able to pick up the award at Nationals for him, but it is Tommy Reyes. So let's show that video. In 1941, a young Filipino sailor named Tommy Reyes arrived in the United States. During the Depression, it was very hard to find work, and in 1932, he met Porfirio Valdez, one of the original Duncan yo-yo demonstrators, performing outside a drugstore. That chance meeting changed his life. Tommy soon joined Duncan as a yo-yo demonstrator, earning a salary of $25 a week. He traveled from store to store across the country along with 30 other Filipino demonstrators, showing kids how to work the yo-yo. In 1932, he entered in a company contest with other Duncan demonstrators and won, earning him the title World Yo-Yo Champion. By 1936, Tommy had left the Duncan Yo-Yo Company to work for his friend Joe Radovan at the Royal Yo-Yo Company. Now on commission, he could make up to 4 times what he had earned at Duncan. But when World War II broke out, everything changed. Like many yo-yo men of his generation, Tommy went to war, returning to service in the Merchant Marine during the 1940s. After the war, in 1946, he reunited with Joe Radovan and the Royal Yo-Yo Company. Tommy's ambition didn't stop there. In 1949, he founded his own small company, Eagle Tops, producing his own line of yo-yos. For about 3 years, he ran Eagle Tops, and even after returning to Duncan in 1950 as a campaign manager, he quietly produced Eagle Tops on the side. Throughout the 50s and 60s, Tommy continued to demonstrate for Duncan and later Royal, becoming a familiar face on some local television. He appeared on shows like Patches and The Bozo Show, amazing audiences with his smooth style and intricate tricks. Among his creations was a new trick called Rock the Baby Under the Tree, adding a playful twist to a classic. Like many of the original Duncan demonstrators, Tommy was also a master carver, decorating yo-yos by hand and turning simple wooden toys into small works of art. He finally retired from professional demonstrating in 1969, closing a career that stretched from the Great Depression through the television age. But Tommy wasn't quite finished. In 1991, during the revival of the Yo-Yo Show, he dusted off his yo-yos one last time. Decades after stepping on that first sidewalk outside a drugstore, the former world champion returned to the stage, reminding everyone why Tommy Reyes is remembered as one of the true pioneers of yo-yo history. The one neat thing about getting to do these videos is I have to do a lot of research and go back and look at old interviews. And I reviewed the one that Stuart Crump did, Hall of Famer, and he did one for, I guess, Yo-Yo Times. Maybe it was even preceding Yo-Yo Times with Tommy Reyes. And it was interesting. He asked Tommy, who had been through all the, well, not the 98, 99 craze, but all the crazes those during the golden era of yo-yos. And he said, when was it most popular? And he says 1932 to 1933. He said, just everybody. He says, adults, kids, policemen, school teachers, everybody was playing the yo-yo. So he said, even though we had those huge crazes in the 50s and the 60s, he says nothing compared to the early 30s. Now, another thing I found out, and I kind of wanted to include, but I just kind of ran out of time, was he is credited for inventing the light the match trick with the yo-yo. He did that the first time in 1939. So that was kind of a cool little fact. I probably should have saved that for a trivia question. But anyway, long time in coming, but a well-deserved honor for Tommy Reyes, our Golden Age inductee in the National Yo-Yo Hall of Fame for 2025. Now, we're going to go to our at-large candidates now, and this can be anybody. These are more players that are more modern, and I'm going to just jump right in, and we will show our first of two that are inductees. Mark Hayward isn't just a great yo-yo player. He's a rare performer who turned a stocking stuffer into a world title, a Guinness World Record, and a lifelong career in laughter and string tricks. Mark's story starts in high school, where he received a hummingbird ho-yo-gram yo-yo in his Christmas stocking and learned to play from a klutz yo-yo book that opened the door to the skill toy world. He picked up the basics quickly, and by 1990 he was already brave enough to step on stage for his first performance, discovering that he loved making people laugh as much as he loved making the yo-yo spin. 2 years later, he entered his first yo-yo contest, the World Yo-Yo Contest in Montreal. In 1995, Mark Hayward won the Masters division at the World Yo-Yo Championships. Along the way, he even set a Guinness World Record for the longest walk the dog, taking one of the most iconic beginner tricks and pushing it to a ridiculous, unforgettable extreme. From there, he kept redefining what a yo-yo show could be, mixing classic tricks with high-energy modern moves, all delivered with a sharp comedic edge. Mark's skill set goes far beyond the string on his finger. He's part of a world champion juggling team, making the same dedication that won him a yo-yo title and applying it to club passing routines that have stood on major stages. He is also a two-time U.S. national spin top champion, proving that if it can spin, Mark can make it dance, and he weaves tops and high-level juggling seamlessly into his shows. That mix of yo-yos, tops, and juggling, plus the occasional mousetrap and other unlikely props, has become his signature, turning every performance into a fast-moving lesson in just how far object manipulation and comedy can go together. By 1997, Mark had embraced the role of professional comedy yo-yo guy, and by 2003, he was performing full-time, turning what started as a quirky passion into a sustainable traveling show business. He has since toured widely, taught countless people, and demonstrated that a yo-yo can be more than a toy. In his hands, it is a storytelling tool, an icebreaker, a way to connect across generations. Through it all, he has remained that kid who still loves the feel of a spinning yo-yo and the sound of a crowd laughing at just the right moment. It is my privilege to introduce the 1995 Masters World Yo-Yo Champion, Guinness World Record holder, World Juggling Champion, and professional comedy yo-yo man, Mark Hayward, for induction into the National Yo-Yo Hall of Fame. I think the great thing about Mark is his ability to entertain, even with doing some of the basic yo-yo tricks. I think there was a yo-yo demonstrator in the 50s and 60s called Skeeter Beebe, and they said he only knew like 3 or 4 tricks, but he did them with style, and so everybody loved him. But he knew very, very few tricks. But you didn't have to know a lot of tricks back then to teach kids to play the yo-yo. So anyway, it's great to be a good entertainer, and Mark is, of course, a professional entertainer. He's been on national television multiple times, and he really does a great job in promoting the yo-yo and our sport. So congratulations, Mark. Well-deserved honor. Okay, we'll get into our last inductee for 2025, another at-large member. And I'll just give you this, arguably one of the most winning yo-yo player when it comes to contests. But that's not all he does. But he is, I'm not sure if there could be anybody that has more titles than this gentleman. Rei Iwakura's story is what happens when a toy becomes a lifetime pursuit of perfection. Tonight, we honor a player who has pushed Offstring yo-yo from a contest division into a true performance art. Rei picked up a yo-yo in the late 1990s and never really put it down. Over more than 20 years on stage, he has turned practice into poetry and pressure into possibility. In a field where a single drop can end a dream, Rei became known as the Offstring champion who never misses. His competitive record is nothing short of historic. Rei is an 8-time Japan national champion and a 7-time world champion with over 40 contest titles to his name. He holds Guinness World Record for the most 4A World Yo-Yo contest titles, with 6 wins in that division alone. Year after year, from regional leagues to the world stage, he didn't just win, he kept winning. But Rei's legacy is bigger than trophies. He helped define modern Offstring with his powerful full stage style and his innovative solo ham routines using 2 Offstring yo-yos at once. His artistic performance world title showed that yo-yo could tell stories, convey emotion, and captivate audiences far beyond the contest hall. Rei has also given back at every level of the scene. As a performer, he has brought yo-yos to festivals, theaters, and events around the world, inspiring countless new players. As a head judge, demonstrator, and coach, he has quietly shaped the standards of excellence on which modern competition is built. And as a designer, his signature Offstring models like the Flawless Air, and Contrail have become trusted tools for the next generation of champions. For his pioneering innovation on Offstring, his unmatched record on the contest stage, his contributions as a performer, judge, teacher, and designer, and the inspiration he has given players across the globe, we are proud to welcome Rei Iwakura into the National Yo-Yo Hall of Fame. You know, they say it takes 10,000 hours of practice to become, a virtuoso. And he must have done it 100,000 hours, because it is just, watching Rei perform with the yo-yo is just, I would love to see Rei with somebody doing a duos competition. The sky is the limit on what somebody like him. Combine him with Mark and the comedy, and it could be great. So anyway, congratulations, Rei. Well deserved. He is incredibly knowledgeable about the history of the yo-yo too, as well. He's so multifaceted, just an amazing guy. Well deserved honor to be in the National Yo-Yo Hall of Fame. So, any questions or comments out there? We got any questions going right now? Let's just take. Okay, Robert Ray's, Tommy Ray's son is signed in, so hopefully you can make it out to Las Vegas in, when is it, June, end of June, and receive your award. If not, we'll still get it to you somehow. But very happy for you and your family that your dad got that award. Any other questions? It's yo-yo talk. It's not yo-yo silence. Let's, if anybody's got any questions, comments on Hall of Famers or anything like that, we still got the trivia contest coming up, but this is a good time to just share. Or if you had any great yo-yo finds lately, I've been so busy with working on that string pack and patch book that I really haven't had a lot of time to do a lot of collecting recently, so I don't have any really new finds. I did see some stuff. I saw there was a nice Cheerio yo-yo up there, Cheerio 99, that I hadn't seen, that looked like it was pretty good shape, although it was a little bit on the pricey side. I think they wanted just around $100 for it, maybe a little less. But there's a few good things on eBay right now, but most of them are a little bit pricey, so we'll see. No. And let me. Have you all seen these? The high end. Oh God, I can't even think. Like Gucci, but I don't think it's Gucci. There's some yo-yos, and they're wanting to sell them for $200-$300. They're just like wooden yo-yos. I don't get it. They're little brand, specialty brand yo-yos. I think one of them is a Gucci. What's up with that? Who's buying those things? I don't think yo-yo collectors are buying them. So anyway, I see those up. I see them at auction, and they're wanting $200, $300, $400 for them. And I'm going, it doesn't make sense to me. So anyway, if you know what's up with those specialty yo-yos, I'd sure like to find out why they're so pricey. And good news for the people that have Gorham sterling silver yo-yos, because I think a long time ago I calculated there's about an ounce of silver in that silver shell. So the price of silver has gone up. So the value of the Gorham sterling silver yo-yos is really at an all-time high. So if you happen to have a few of those, that's nice. But I don't think it's due to the collectible value. I think it's just due to the value of the silver. And I don't know if that means people start turning those in and melting them down for the silver content. So that may make fewer. So that means the price will go up. All right. No other comments, because if there are, let's see. John Mishraw found that Yankee Wizard tournament model. He thinks it's a Lumar. I'd never seen that one. It was kind of interesting. Yo-yo. He sent me a picture of that the other day, so that was interesting. All right. Well, might as well get into the trivia contest. Have a little bit of fun here. Now, the first question is going to be very simple. And it should go pretty quick. Now, again, with the trivia contest, you've got to enter into the chat, and it's the first one that pops up on the chat that gets the answer correct is the official winner. As I say, the reward is fame, fortune, and immortality, but no other prizes involved in this. This is just for honor and glory. So, okay, so I'm going to read you the first question. And the first person, and you have to answer all of these right to get the correct answer. Who were the first 3 inductees into the National Yo-Yo Hall of Fame in 2003? And if you happen to be looking on the site, just notice that the first class there is dated wrong. I've still got to go back and collect it. I think they dated it 2002. So this may be one that you all know the answer to, and then you'll get it really quick, or you may have to go look it up, which you can go to the National Yo-Yo Hall of Fame.com, and you can probably find it there. And you should know that website exists. And I am a little bit behind on last year's inductees, but now that I've got another batch, I'll get around to it this weekend. All right, let's see what we got. Yes, Flores. Let's see. That is John Mishraw. He nailed it on the first go round. So We already have 1 point in the John Maishral column. All right, now it's going to get a little more. It's going to get a little more difficult. We're going to make it a little more difficult. What year did Scientific American write an article about Filipino toys, which included the yo-yo? What year was that? And I will show you the article once you've answered the question. You got to say the year. What? Yo-yo. The name yo-yo. Could it have been before Pedro Flores? Maybe that's a little hint. Could have been. Maybe not. Maybe it was after Pedro Flores, making it popular, the name. But they called it, the toy, a yo-yo, not a Bandalore. They called it a yo-yo in this year. 1999. That's a little off. 1930, no. What is that? 1971. 1902, interesting. That's Bandalore era. 1929, that's when Flores introduced the yo-yo, or thereabouts 1928 is the actual date he introduced the word yo-yo. Let's see who else has some thoughts here. 1897, okay. All right, I will give you a hint that is too early. 1934, that is way too late. So I'm giving you some good hints now here. Oh, wait a minute. No, I read that wrong. 1916. Yes, who's that? John Maishral again. Oh, taking a very strong lead. Let's put that article up there. Can we show them the article to see that? There it is, Filipino toys. And if you see in the upper left-hand corner there, in very small, they have a little image of a yo-yo and a hand. And they say yo-yo. So that was actually pre-Flores. So this was because the Filipinos called the toy a yo-yo back in the day. And even though it was called a Bandalore here in the United States at that time. And Bandalore, of course, is where the word Bandalorist comes from, which is a person that collects yo-yos. All right, we will go to the next question, another little difficult question. According to his immigration card, what year was Pedro Flores admitted into the United States? Just the year. I won't ask for the month and day, but just the year. All right. So we got John Maishral with an early lead with 2 questions right. And I've got 7 questions now, so we'll see. That lead is still overcomable. So we all know that Flores named the yo-yo in 1928. 1920, good guess, but not correct. 24, another good guess. Getting in the range there. 26, nope, another guess. 1916, 25, nope, we're still... Okay, again, what was it? What year on his immigration card was Pedro Flores admitted into the United States? This is on his immigration card, so it must be true. Still not getting it. Still not getting it. We're bouncing around. Lots of reasonable answers, though. I will say that. I would have maybe guessed some of those if I didn't actually have a copy of the immigration card. 1917. Interesting. Maybe it was around the time of that Scientific American article. Who knows? 1914, 1911. I think we're hopping around it now. 1943. No, that's way out of there. 1919. No. We're getting close, though. We're getting close. 26, 47. I will tell you that if you're in the 20s, you're wrong. We'll move this along a little bit. 1916. Still not there. That was the Scientific American article. Was it before or after that article was written? 1915. Oh, man. We are getting so close to that answer. 1918. Still bouncing around. 1915. I told you this was going to be a difficult one. 1912, man, you've hit just about every one in the teens except for the one that it is. 16, 17, 18, 19, 14. Oh my gosh. 1935, way off. We know we're in the teens now. 12, 14. It still hasn't popped up yet. I don't believe it. 14. I think I know why. There it is. Who is that? Tim Crump. All right. Good job, Tim Crump. Very good. 1913. I think it was because everybody thinks it's bad luck. So they hate saying the word 13. I forget what the name of the phobia is, but there it is. That is his immigration card, and there it is, 1913. And it also has his date of birth, 93. So interestingly enough, but that was Pedro Flores' card, and they had to carry that with them at all times. So that was interesting. All right. So very good on that one. Okay, now we'll go to a little one that's easier. So this one you should get really quick with all the people that are watching that I know have a lot of yo-yo historical skills. What was the name of Duncan's first yo-yo? Boom. That should be just like, boom. We should know that. It should be popping up. Just give me the name. Y2K bug present. Interesting. Oh boy, who is that? Oh, John Maisrall's taking a substantial lead now with 3 questions right. All right. Well, I'm going to ask now. This is a question that if the Nickinator was watching, he would probably get this without knowing anything about yo-yos at all. But I'm going to ask you now, what was the last year that Duncan could offer gold as an award? Yes, Duncan actually offered gold, real gold, as awards in a certain time period. But what was the last year they could do it? What was the absolute last year they could do it? And then I will tell you why. So there's a little bit of a delay here. 1893. Yeah, that was 1893 for Pedro Flores' birth year. Oh, we're still getting years popping up. Oh no, that's for this question. Yes, we are getting years popping up for answering what the last year they could give gold out as prizes. And so far, I'm not seeing it. So far, we're off. But yeah, so there are literally contest posters and advertisements out there offering like $20 in gold coin as the prize. 1928. I still haven't seen it yet. Still have not seen it. I didn't miss it, did I? Okay. I'm glad. Producers watching too, checking me, making sure I'm doing it right here. There's a lot of bright lights here, so it's hard to see. Got some reasonable answers. I'm not sure what the thought process is on some of them, but obviously, I guess actually technically, if you think about it, Duncan could once again offer gold. Oh, wait a minute. There it is. Val Oliver. Yes. One for the women folk. Nailed it. Good job, Val. 1934. Now, and the reason for that is because in 1934, Roosevelt banned the private ownership of gold. So nobody could keep it anymore. And then in one of a more questionable government takes, then they bought all the gold back for less than the actual market value of gold. So, basically the government ripped everybody off. But a lot of people hung on to their gold because they didn't trust the government at that point. But that's why 1934 was the last year they could do it. But technically, I was getting ready to say that Duncan could now, because that rule is gone, Duncan could now offer gold, and I think they should offer gold as a prize in our contest today. I think that's a good suggestion. Maybe somebody should contact Duncan Yo-Yo Company and tell them they should start doing that. Mike, maybe if you're watching, you can add that to the contest nationals. That would be great to have a $20 gold doubloon or something for first prize. All right. So the next question is an interesting one. Did we show that contest photo? Oh, yeah. Here's a typical contest photo. That was probably from around 1932, 33. But there it is, $20 in gold. So I'm not lying about that. All right. In 1930, they advertised, I love the name of this yo-yo, the Bimbo yo-yo. How did its shape differ from the traditional gold seal tournament yo-yo of Duncan? And I'm looking for one of two descriptive words. So it had its own unusual shape. What was it? How did it differ from your typical gold seal Duncan yo-yo? That would be the Bimbo yo-yo. Great name for a yo-yo. And they did call it a yo-yo, even though the trademark was held in 1930, questionably by Flores. Maybe by that time Duncan had acquired the name. Does Duncan actually do competitions anymore? Well, they support the National Yo-Yo League. They support, nationals and worlds. So they don't host their own, I don't think. They do the Boy Scout trick level. Butterfly? No, it was not a butterfly. Six-sided yo-yo. Yeah, nope. Oval? Nope, not the word I'm looking for. So, reasonable things. That would be very interesting if it was a butterfly shape, because that would have preceded the butterfly by, 28 years or something like that. They didn't really come out with the butterfly until much later. And while we're trying to figure out a shape, was that really a narrow yo-yo? Nope. Square? Nope. Still large diameter? Nope. Still just looking for a shape. You're going to go, oh, that was easy when it comes up. Let's see. Large diameter. Now, I will say, I thought the Eagle Yo-Yo Company made a plastic butterfly, flat, nope. But that was butterfly shaped, and Tommy Reyes quit making that Eagle brand. Nope, not imperial shaped, not triangle shaped. What else? Hourglass, round. We will count round. Who is that? RC Yo-Yo. It is. I was kind of looking for spherical or ball shape, but we'll go with round. We'll give RC Yo-Yos that one. So anyway, there it is. It's just a spherical yo-yo, and that's the earliest one I've seen. There may be something preceding it, but there it is. It did exist, and it was called the Bimbo yo-yo. So I was mentioning that the Eagle yo-yo, there's a plastic Eagle yo-yo, and I thought it was from the Eagle Yo-Yo Company. But if Tommy Reyes quit making his brand in the early 50s, butterfly wasn't around yet, and nobody was using plastic like that. So that must have been another company. So if you know anything about that butterfly-shaped Eagle yo-yo, I'd like to know about that. All right. Let's see. We're getting down to, this is the last one. This is a good one. Okay, this is it. I don't think anybody can touch John Maisharal for the victory because he's got 3 already. But you're playing for honor now. We'll say, John, sorry, but winner take all on this one. Okay, in this 1930s cartoon character appeared on a Japanese fan playing a yo-yo. Who was the cartoon character? And I'll give you some hints in a bit if you're not getting it. But if you've seen this, I actually have this in my collection. You might think back, well, what did Lucky have in his collection with this cartoon character? Let's see. Bimbo yo-yo with a little girl in the ad. Not a good look. Yes, I'm not sure that would pass the taste test these days. Oh my gosh, who got it? Oh, John Maisharal. Okay, he was under pressure because I said the last one wins. So, yes, it was Betty Boop. I had all these great clues to go with it. Was a girl, had curly black bob hair, had long eyes, and then the last one would be Boop Oop-de Doop, which was her catchphrase. So, anywho, that's it. John Maisharal is the champion for tonight's episode. Congratulations, John Maisharal. Thank you all for playing and participating. Congratulations to all our new inductees. If you just are signing in, it was Tommy Reyes, Mark Hayward, and Rei Iwakura. It's getting late, folks. It's time to sign off until next month. Again, the first Thursday in the month of, what's next month? April. We'll see you here at Yo-Yo Talk, hopefully. And as always, you can never have too many yo-yos. This is Doc Lucky signing off until April.